What are you sniffing out, whiskey? What are you sniffing out over here? Oh, right there. I see. Might have to ask this one out. Cops love me. Mayor, give me the number to an officer that's driving car 108. She looks a little lonely. Right here's where they let off the fireworks, and they got stuff set up right through here, all through Kingsbury Park, over there on Pontiac Park, and over by the library. All three sections that surround the river here. The two rivers that come together. It does seem a tad irresponsible leaving all those fireworks sitting there unattended. You know, Whiskey and I came through, the gate was open, so we walked through here to check it out. And of course, it is not advised that you be operating any cell phones within the vicinity. Oh shit, she circled back around to see me. Get there. Come on. How's it going, everyone? Hopefully you're doing all right. We're just checking in with another video, more updates. We're gonna try to keep some of the information flowing. My hair is a mess, whatever, it's hot, I don't care. Anyways, so we're just sharing some of this. Today's the 3rd, July 3rd. And Defiance is doing their fireworks. It's probably gonna turn out okay. You know, it's usually all right. It gets a good turnout. I'm not here to cut Defiance's fireworks down or nothing. Sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're not. But right here where we're sitting, it's gonna be all packed here. Here shortly, people are already starting to roll in. Whiskey and I was taking our walk and decided maybe we'll give you a little bit of insight into. That's what, you know, we're running a channel here and popping up different kinds of content, and here I'm making a push towards my music here recently, and so it's probably a good idea that I keep an insight of what's going on. And as I said, I'll be changing some things up a little bit. We'll still get on the, I'm just not interested in running out here with the camera and purposely looking for shit, because there ain't enough of it around here for me to go. You know, if the opportunity arises, I will, but I'm not. It is what it is. But I still stand where I stand. It always will, right? Anyways, got a little bit of bad news for you. Whiskey ate the bass player. So there's that, you know. Poor guy, he was talented. But we'll get another one, don't you worry. Everyone's replaceable. Important lesson in life. Everyone is replaceable. Anyway, so maybe we'll come up here later on, do a live stream of when they do the fireworks. I don't know, we'll see. But otherwise, we're just gonna give this a little bit of an update, give you a little of insight. As I said, I've been working on the music as it's shown. I've been uploading some stuff. And this isn't stuff that just is spur of the moment, right? This is stuff that for the past over 2 years, almost 3 years now, right, that I've been pouring myself into, not telling nobody about. And it's pretty cool sometimes because I want to be clear, you know, I released some stuff on Facebook, and I appreciate it. I got some people telling me, oh, great job on the lyrics and stuff, and I appreciate that very much, especially the one lady, that very beautiful lady that chimed in that I knew forever. I haven't seen her forever, whatever, but chimed in and, oh, well, you're impressed. I'm glad. But, you know, I want to be clear. I'm doing stuff to make, doing all kinds of trickery to make some of that turn out. I'm trying to make some of them, let some of them turn out a little more as raw. And someone else pointed out that maybe I will, maybe I just hate my own voice. But let's be clear, I'm not a talented singer. I do a lot of shit to pull this off. For the point is, I believe I'm writing good songs with good music and putting it all together. And, you know, so that's my push here, and I could use everyone's help that wants to help push that out there. If you find any of that music enjoyable to your taste, let us know, and also push it out there. Hopefully I'll be hitting I want to have, and I'm real close now to having a full, I got way more than a whole album worth of music, but I want to have an album complete, and I'm almost there. And then I'm gonna try to select one of them for a single. So chime in the comments if you like a certain one, what you would like me to release as a single of what you've seen so far, onto the music streaming networks. So I could use everyone's help and support on that too. And by all means, otherwise, you know, I say things on these videos. My thing is about the truth. At the end of the day, it's about the truth. This world is nothing but shit. And, you know, I'll say things that offend people, but before you get too offended, just ask yourself if I'm saying the truth, right? Whether it be politics, religion, whatever it's about, right? Is it the truth? Because this world is nothing but shit. We need to be concerned what's going on after this. And, you know, the best thing I can do, I've learned this, and we'll get down to this in future videos, other stuff that, anyways, the most important thing I can do is to share things to try the truth, right? To help us all understand what the real truth on anything is, right? That way we can be sure to get our souls into heaven, right? So we ain't following the rest of this world into hell, which everyone seems so thrilled to do. You know, a lot of times we don't want to look at our own wrongs. And so now I've been contemplated here. I've been jammed up a few times here recently now, because I keep putting everything back into perspective, keep going back over all kinds of things that's gone on in my life here that's led to where I'm at, trying to, you know, it must be my blame, right? But, you know, we'll get to these answers I come to and everything else, but what it comes down to is we all got to do that. We got to be willing to face ourselves and admit our wrongs and do something about them, right? Otherwise we're damned, and we don't understand how serious that really is. But anyways, so give you a little insight onto our music here. You know, we're releasing some music, and some of this goes way back, and so I'm trying to get enough to go, you know, most of it's years in the making, right? And I've been working on my videos, but doing this all, you know, not telling no one secretly, right? Until I could come up with something that I thought was finally sounding good. Then I first shared it with a few friends, seeing what they thought, then I pushed it out there. Well, so it's funny because, so I wrote a song, a chorus about a woman, right? Many songs out there, but with her name, because at one point in time, it was in so many words said, oh, like, there'll never be a song because her name's unique, or right? Ain't no song gonna be with her name in it, right? So I wrote one, but this is at a pretty low time in my life, right? I was already starting to write some songs, already messing with some stuff, and uh, hold on. Anyways, you know, relationships are whatever they are, but, you know, it comes off sometimes as if, like, this ain't because somebody got sick of my crap and left. Is really, I was the one that made the decision, but it was one of the hardest decisions I could make. And I'm still not thrilled about it, not happy about it. It's not the decision I wanted to make. But at the end of the day, I got to stand up for myself. And if you can't admit what you did and are doing behind my back, and you know, I can't, so ultimately, because you don't want to face that and change whatever, you know, the person, right? Then, as I did, as I always had to, right? I wasn't worth the same. So, you know, that means ultimately you're choosing not me. That is what it is. Whose decision is it really? I was forced into the decision, right? But it still don't matter. All those feelings are there. And I hated it, right? So I was practicing this song, and I still had my house, right? But I was running off a generator, so I'd run the generator twice a day. I'd run it, let it build up my hot water heater, right? Get a hot shower, let it run for a while, charge some stuff up, or get that stuff taken care of. Then Whiskey and I'd take a walk, would do some stuff, and strum around on the acoustic guitar, start coming up with songs, stuff like that. Then a little later in the day, we'd start the generator back up, let it charge everything up. Then as nighttime came, we're good to go, right? And for a while, I didn't turn to alcohol, but I had still whatever alcohol I had left in my house. I wasn't buying any, right? So anyways, I was practicing this one song to send to her, right? I've never sang for nobody to this day. I don't sing in front of people. Don't even play my guitar in front. I mean, I do play the guitar in front of people, but I don't play as good when I'm all alone. There's people that understand that, but it is what it is, right? So I am practicing this song that I think she likes, right? So there was a couple of different songs. So I picked one out of those, and there was other people's songs, and I normally don't play other people's songs. I've learned to play guitar enough, right? And then make my own music. And for the past, now that I've been putting my music out there, I want to make clear, for the past 3 years, I haven't been listening to other people's music purposely. I mean, once in a while, if you're somewhere and you hear the music, right? But that's very rare for me. I've not been hanging out anywhere, not been just me and my dog, right? Mostly. And, so the purpose is to try to keep these other influences out, because they come through in my music, right? And, but anyways, at this particular time, I was practicing a few of other people's songs, and I wanted to do one, just do it in acoustic, record it, and send it to her, right? Just let her know how I really felt, that this was all right with me, that this, whatever. And so that's what I was doing. But meanwhile, this was going on, right? And I was writing some of my own songs. My brother has an actual professional type recording studio, and that was my plan, to start doing some songs in there. And I was hoping to come up with some music, maybe sellable, whatever, to start earning enough to prevent losing my house or something, right? I was at these deep moments, so I kept pleading with my brother, this is the time when I gotta do it, because my heart's coming out. I could actually do it on my own songs, right? Right? So I came up with this song. And I was supposed to be released so that I'll be able to make the full album. But I came up with, so I wrote this song for her, right? And one night, so one night we shut the generator down, and I don't know, it was maybe it was a day like this, right? And then the night was getting ready to turn night. Shut the generator down, got stuff set up for my recordings, and at this time I was recording both audio and videos, right, inside my house. A lot of the videos I ended up having to delete to make room to do the stuff for the videos that I've put onto Facebook. I mean YouTube, and so. But there was a bunch of videos. Well, anyways, from that time, and this particular night, I finished off all the alcohol I had left, right, and started just. So I found, anyways, I realized that the way I did this, and I tried to do it again later, a few days later, and stuff like that, and couldn't the same way, and I really didn't like the original way. That I did it, and but at the end of the day, it turned out not that bad, as long as I leave it stripped down, and I added just a few effects that help with the echo, and a little effects over the vocals, a little effects over but it's just the guitar and me, and and that one's coming out. Anyways, the point is, when that comes out, anyone that hears it, in the background, you can hear Whiskey howling. So Whiskey is 100% a part of this band, right? And I never realized it, and because really I was only holding on to these old files to get back to these songs and redo them better, right? And a lot of them, the ones I've released so far, that's what I've done. I had to keep redoing and redoing until it was better, close enough to where I can make it good enough, right? And so I held on to this. Well, I broke it out because I'm trying to find out my easiest way of what all I got. So I got other stuff finished that ain't released yet, but what else do I got out there that I can get done quick enough to make a full album? So I found this one and I threw some effects on it, and I'm like, yeah, this, but as I'm listening to it, I'm like, I noticed a part where I messed up in the strumming. Whether people here listening would notice it or not, I don't know, but I noticed it, right? I messed up on the strumming on the guitar, and then I started to realize I hear Whiskey in the background howling. And so this is the insight into what we got going on. I'm gonna share this little clip with you, because at this particular time, what we were doing is I was like during the day, I'd be strumming around, messing around with some songs, and then I'd look over at Whiskey or whatever, and I was, because of a song I wrote about him, and that's not out yet, but I was trying to get him to hum at certain times when I would look at him a certain way or hit a chord a certain way, right? I was trying to get him to do that. And so he's doing that several days, and so it just so happened that as I'm doing that song, and I must have just looked over at him, whatever, I don't got the video from that part, but I do got this little clip I'm gonna share, because it shows him, it shows us messing around like that. But then the damnedest thing is, so then the next day, and my voice is all messed up, and I did some other songs also that none that good right after that, that night. And so my voice is all, and then I tried to do that song anyways, a song that I really shouldn't have done anyways, because it was in a key I can't do, and it was horrible, whatever, but I sent it to her anyways. And the truth is, now that I look back, I should have went and sent the one that I wrote about her, my own song that I wrote about her, because it turned out better than me trying to do this. I think it was a Luke Combs song or whatever, and I butchered it or whatever, and I'm not proud of that, but I was like, I was trying to throw myself out of the box, and okay, if someone's gonna bring me out, you are, and I'm for once gonna actually sing for somebody, right? Anyways, here's this clip. Ready, Whiskey? our boy Whiskey there. Right on. Huh? What do you think about that? Thumbs up for him. Hit that like, subscribe, and share. And by all means, hope you enjoy the music. Let us know your thoughts, and I want to know your real thoughts. I don't want to be pushing stuff that's not worth it, but I feel pretty good about it. And so another thing, I get hung up, and now I got an opportunity, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a good opportunity. Within a month, I could be back on a bike, right? But then I put all these things into perspective. Oh yeah, and now I'm slaving away again, caught up in the system that they could just come and take it away. It's just not right. Shit that's going on so many levels that different people have done to me, where I've tried to remain honorable and just, right? This person I wrote a song for, I was, to this day, probably honestly, and this ain't just somebody just saying it, the only person praying for you that's properly praying for that person, right, is me, right? How is that? There are people like this in our lives, and we don't exist to them, right? I worry more about that person than anyone else does, right? And I was there when I was getting dumped on and didn't realize that I was being there for that person, when all the people that was more important for her to impress later, all those people were backstabbing her and being shysters, all that stuff, not being righteous to her. I was, and I'm the one that paid the price. That's where vindictiveness, whatever, it's not like I'm perfect. But for it to go the way it has, no, and then we got, so I say I'm changing things up, not completely, but I just want to be clear, there's a way to go about this stuff, and, we can do certain things about this audits and with the stuff with the public servants all day long, right? We're not making any changes because they're protecting each other. They get away with it. What I keep saying is we got to change us as people at the hearts, right? Because they're people, we're all people, right? And at the end of the day, God's going to settle the score. And here's, so this job opportunity really hangs me up. And everybody's like, oh, did you check into that job? And I'm like, but people don't understand my reasonings and everything else. And I'm like, did you not I shared this music and you just told me how great of a job I did. But I should ignore that and go slave away? Or because I've been putting hard days work every day for the last several, almost 3 years now into this music. Just nobody knew it, right? Okay, hopefully I can get it to pay off. Whatever, we'll see. But, so the whole public servant thing, right? It don't matter if it's public servants or people on the personal level. If you wrong somebody, it's not karma, it's God's judgment. And so another dilemma I ended up in is, a while back now, and the person was probably been waiting, and finally I got a hold of this anonymous source. Right now they're going to remain anonymous because I'm not going to, make life suck for them because I chose not to use it. And I got a hold of that person. I said, you know what, if you want to share that with somebody else that might push it. Right now I'm the only one that would really push it, I suppose, right? I gave him a few people he could maybe contact, he or she, right? Better watch, anyways. But solid information where there's at least 2 people, public servant wise, right? Maybe officer wise, whatever, that help screw my life up and think they're funny for it, and they get away with it, right? They think they've done nothing wrong, and they surely have, right? Like some people get on me because so has my ex, right? And I believed in her more than anyone, that she would have just faced it in like I have, right? I swallowed it how many times and faced it, and let's fix it and get it all, let me face that. I got to fix this or that, right? Anyways, but there's also the public servant, but we have a constitution that's supposed to protect us from that. It's not happening, right? So we got to, whatever. So the day is coming. The thing is, so I was presented with this information that I could throw out there and it could make me look good, right, for what I'm doing on my channel. And it won't really true. I had to stop and put stuff into perspective, right? And because, yeah, it's all the revenge I need, but that's my revenge. Then I start figuring out, right? Because it's damning. It could totally ruin their lives. Totally ruin their lives, not their career, their lives, right? And I think about it because even to this day, I'm like, why don't I just do it? Because they ruined my life and they don't give a shit and they walk away smirking and thinking it's funny. But that's where God's talking to me. Vengeance belongs to the Lord, right? And that's where I got to step back and say, okay, I'm going to let God handle that vengeance. So I'm not going to take this upon. God's going to, because if I get that vengeance, then I feel satisfied what he has in the works. Because, you know, these people haven't wronged just me. They've wronged others. They need to pay the price that God sees fit. And what we all see as karma is God's judgment. And it's coming. So I'm backing off a little bit on some of that because I don't, you know what, I'm not here to say, I'm not the judge, right? I'm going to leave it in God's hands and try to focus on the betterment of myself, right? I'm not happy and not accepting the things, but at the same time, I want to try to follow this, handle it the way that God would be glad for me to do it, right? You know? Anyways, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. We appreciate that very much. And I hope you enjoy that little clip with Whiskey and I messing around there. And we'll chime in with more updates. We got more music coming out. Let us know your thoughts. Hope you're all having a great day. And hope you have a great 4th of July weekend. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep all of his commandments. For that is the whole duty of man. For God will bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.